Let's get the secret sauce of running a business school in Bangalore.
And now we can confidently say that we are one of the fastest growing business schools in Bangalore.
Basically, the primary stakeholders are the students.
So, if not job, then what?
Most of the students, the first question is once I complete MBA, what would be my CTC? What would be my salary? And we are all running behind success. We are running behind CTC. We are running behind money. How many of us have introspected and checked how happy we are with the money? The focus should be to be happy in life, to enjoy whatever you do, to have the passion in whatever you do. Money, career, success will automatically come.
Welcome to Empowering You by Mediagarh. So, today in our podcast, we have our special guest who are running one of the fastest growing business school in Bangalore. And definitely, this podcast is very important for students who are looking to build their career after MBA or BBA or any other program. And second, to all the college owners looking the perfect strategies to run a college and how to grow it at the fast pace. If you are that person, then this podcast is very important for you. So, thank you, Dr. Jahish, Murli sir, and Limnesh sir for coming today. And I am very much excited for this podcast because we are shooting this podcast from Dubai. So, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Pankaj. Thanks for having us here.
Jay sir, how it all started? Like, what's the thing? How you started IZee?
Pankaj, first of all, thank you so much for inviting us over here, especially being in Dubai currently, all the way from Bangalore and from Jodhpur. So it's an exciting day and week for all of us for being here.
Yes.
So from the entire team, I would like to thank you for bringing us together in Dubai.
It was tough, but overall, it's going good now.
Absolutely, absolutely. So to answer your question, IZee as an institution was started in 2009, but IZee as a brand was started in 2005. We started with a recruitment company in 2005. So we have almost around 19 to 20 years of experience in recruitments.
Okay.
So we've been dealing with some of the top companies in India for different verticals in recruitment. And then in 2009, the idea of starting a business school came by.
Okay.
So for the last 15 years, IZee has been developing rapidly, and now we can confidently say that we are one of the fastest growing business schools in Bangalore,
Oh wow.
aiming to be at least among the top 5 business schools in the near future.
Oh great, great. So you all three are running IZee. So how does it work? Like, are there specific roles divided, or how do you operate?
Yeah, so we are the trustees of IZee Business School at different, we obviously give a designation because we have to give a designation, but
Definitely.
otherwise we all work together as one team,
Okay.
right? And we came in as a team for the last around 3 or 4 years back. We all joined hands and came as a team and trustees together
Okay.
in IZee, right?
So how do you operate? Like you
What
three are
levels?
as a team. So are there any specific roles divided, or whatever comes you all operate?
Right. So, a first funda of running an organization is to keep it very simple, right? Don't complicate it, right? As a small institution, obviously, a lot of roles overlap with each other. However, how we try and keep it different is we play different roles in the institution at times, but when the point of decision making comes, point of discussion comes, we take it together as a group,
Okay.
right? So one of us might be looking at growth,
Okay.
institution development, another person might be looking at operationals,
Okay.
and another person might be looking at administration, admissions, and stuff like that.
Okay.
So even though we have a clear role in front of us, right? So that is just part of working as a team. But end of the day, the decisions, the conversation, the discussions all happen together as one team.
Okay. Great. So you're running this business school. So mainly running an education institution. So when I see what's your background, you are into education from the start, or like you said that you were running an manpower recruitment company. So before that, any experience in running an education institution, or just this is the first one.
Yeah. So I started the business at very early stage of my life, where I just got around 2 or 3 years experience in a corporate. I
Okay.
was working in one of the largest internet companies in the world.
Okay.
So we worked there for around 3 or 4 years, and then once we quit that, we started IZee Manpower because we had some experience in training, recruitment, and similar fields. So that's
Okay.
how IZee came by, right? We had around 2 to 3 years or 3 to 4 years experience, and then we started and ventured out into recruitments.
Okay. So Murli sir, what what's your background and currently what are the main things which you are managing at IZ?
Okay. First and foremost, thank you, Pankaj, for
Thank you,
making
sir.
us come here all the way from Bangalore, taking time out from our busy schedule because that keeps going. Thanks once again.
Thank you to you, sir. You just accepted my request.
We had to. To talk about myself, I did my MBA from Pune University,
Okay.
and that's where I started my corporate journey.
Hmm.
I was in marketing.
Okay.
And then in mid 2000, I came to Bangalore, got into teaching, and I've been in this academic field for past 22 years to be precise.
22 years.
Yes. So I've been in this academic field, especially with PG,
Okay.
MBA.
Wow. That's great. So you are with the 22 years experience,
Yeah.
and now I can easily see that you are the person who is managing the academics at IZ.
As our chairman rightly said, we don't have specific roles here. We discuss everything, and then what is good for the institutions. Basically, the primary stakeholders are the students.
Okay.
So, what is good for the students, we take it up. We discuss, we deliberate, and then decide what is good for the institution.
Okay.
When I say institution, obviously the primary stakeholders are the students there.
Okay.
So whatever is good for the students, we decide on it and we take it forward.
Great, great.
And we have one small thing, Pankaj, to add. We believe in flat organization.
Okay.
Designations are for the other people, but as a team, we really don't believe in designations. Even in college, we work as a flat organization.
As a team.
Everybody, including our teaching, non-teaching, we believe that we should make ourselves approachable.
But don't you think when you, right now, let's say you are at one campus and then when you increase the number of campuses, you will need designations, you will need the role divisions, or will that.
Precisely. See, a role is for the student community. But when it comes to work, we need to work as a team.
Team.
So here, my chairman cannot say that I am chairman, I will not do this. I, as a person, cannot say that this is not my job. We should be ready for anything and everything.
Yes.
That's what we believe in.
Okay.
There is nothing called a particular task is meant for a particular person. If I can do it, let me do it.
Okay.
If, for example, my driver has not come, so I can't say driver has not come, let me sit back at home. No, I should drive and go back to college.
Definitely.
So that's what we believe in.
Great, sir. Great thought and great ideology. And sir, so Limnesh sir, what's your role ideally? I got the idea that yes, you operate as a flat organization, you operate as a team, but still, what sort of activities you look after in IZ?
First of all, to say thanks to be here.
Thank you to you.
Yeah, Pankaj. And as my partners already mentioned, it's a teamwork. Okay, I'm also a part of that work. I'm into the last 15 years. I'm into this marketing field.
So how you started? What was your journey?
Started as a marketing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then after that, marketing for a company.
started as a admission consultancy.
Okay.
It's almost 15 years. Is into this marketing.
So I see there like you have started from scratch. Earlier when I see lot of colleges in India, they are mainly built by people who have multiple businesses, and let's say they have this 50 crores in the bank account, and they see, let's open a college and let's operate that.
More
So,
or less, most of the people have started as a CSR as well, to give back to society.
okay.
There are people who have started in that sense as well.
Mm-hmm.
See, one good thing, one USP what IZee has is this is the only college which we can proudly say that has a recruitment company as well. There's not a
That's great.
college
That's
which
great.
has a which is running even recruitment company.
Okay. But when I see your background, what I feel is that IZ is built from the scratch and I think bootstrapped.
Yes.
Yes. So it was not that you were having different
No,
multi-million dollar businesses and let's open a college and let's mint money from the MBA also,
true.
because there are a lot of colleges in which we can see this thing. Okay, great. So, Bangalore as a choice, or you stayed in Bangalore, that's why location for IZ is in Bangalore.
So obviously, most of us have been born and brought up in Bangalore, even though
Okay.
we may belong to other states, but we've been here, born and brought up in Bangalore. So Bangalore as a destination comes naturally because we are there. It's our city, our state, so we are there. And also for an institution, Bangalore is a very attractive proposition for students,
Okay.
right? People strive to come to Bangalore because of various
yes,
reasons, right? Opportunities, job opportunities, right? Like you say, weather is great,
Yes,
right?
weather
That's the
is
first
great.
thing everyone says about Bangalore, even though off late it's not that great, but still comparatively it's great. So obviously Bangalore is a very attractive destination, education destination in India. So that's obviously one of the reasons why we preferred Bangalore. But then we've been there, lived there, so it's our home, and that's the best way to start.
Great, great. And what sets IZ apart from this Bangalore location from other schools when we compare other business schools in Karnataka? What sets apart? What sets IZ apart?
What sets IZ apart is number one, we are probably the only college which has its own recruitment company.
Oh, wow.
That's one.
Okay.
The second one would be our focus is to develop students in terms of skills, knowledge, attitude, and many other aspects of student development, which eventually gets them a good job.
Okay.
And the last thing is would be the honesty with which we are working. We
Okay.
put in our heart and soul into the institution, mainly keeping students' careers and development in mind.
Great, sir. Great. And then in the last statement, you said that the job should not only be the only goal. So, if not job, then what?
See, our funda in life is most of the students. The first question is: once I complete MBA, what would be my CTC? What would be my salary?
True.
Right? And we are all running behind success. We are running behind CTC. We are running behind money. How many of us have introspected and checked how happy we are with the money, how happy we are with the careers?
True.
So the focus should be to be happy in life, to enjoy whatever you do, to have the passion in whatever you do. Money, career, success will automatically come.
True.
Okay. So, what's happiness for you?
Happiness is being content with whatever you have,
Okay.
right? Human needs are unlimited, right? Unlimited needs. So if I have 50,000 rupees today, I need 1 lakh. Once I achieve 1 lakh, I need 2 lakhs. So the wants keeps going on and the greed keeps going on, right?
True.
Happiness is when you're happy with 10,000, when you're happy with 50,000, you're happy with 10 lakhs. My first job when I started my career, I had a salary of 6,000,
Oh, wow.
right? I was happy then. Today, being the chairman of IZee Business School, I'm happy now. So that would be the difference, right?
Okay.
Not the amount what you earn.
Okay. And when we talk about success, what's success for you?
See, success again, it boils down to the same thing. Success is being happy with whatever you have achieved in life.
Okay.
Right? Your life does not end at a particular point. You work, you strive till your last breath. So if you're running only behind success, when is it going to end?
True.
Right? There's nothing called as success or failure. As some of them say, you either win or you learn.
True.
So there's nothing like, yeah, you're a loser or so that is what we need to teach children, right? There's nothing saying that you're a loser, you failed, right? There's only two things, like I said. It's either you win or you learn.
True. And you also mentioned that there were a lot of hiccups and challenges. Can you, Murli sir, can you give one example of hiccup or challenges which you have seen?
See, when you talk about challenges, it is at multiple fronts.
Hmm.
It can be student centric, it can be
Okay.
faculty centric,
Hmm.
it can be infrastructure centric or administrative centric.
Okay.
So we have, I will not say challenges, because we always learned things out of it.
Okay.
So there is always a learning, right?
True.
Now, if you talk about students, our students are pan India, they are coming from pan India.
Mm-hmm.
Every student before joining, they expect, as sir was rightly telling, the first question any student who joins the course, the parent, if not the student, asks about what is a CTC, my child will get it.
Definitely.
So how do we answer that? So that's the first thing. Our day starts from then.
Hmm.
And the day ends when we actually make the student, when he or she is passing out, understand that he has, when he's passing out from IZee, he should be happy. He should feel that he has taken away, was a value for the time, not for the money. Value for the time what he or she has spent in the college.
Okay.
Money we can earn,
Yes.
but
we can.
time we can't. So the time what the child has spent in our college should be fruitful. He or she should have felt that, yes, I have got what I have come for. That's why I say value for time. Most important is that.
True. And how do you make sure that students' time is fruitful?
Yes. See, now there are at multiple fronts a student has to develop. One is from the academic side. The second is from the personality. When I say personality, sir has rightly put it across as KSA, knowledge, skills, and attitude.
Okay.
So these three have to be developed in the child. At UG level, undergrad, they have 3 years to learn. At PG level, they have 2 years to learn. So this KSA has to be learned. Our teachers, our trainers ensure that these three are taken care.
Okay.
Then the third one is the holistic development,
Okay.
the most important one. As my chairman was now telling you, that we need to teach today's children to be content. This is not happening in today's materialistic life. We want and want and want. Whatever is coming, we are never, content with it. How do we be happy with what we have? If we can make the children understand that itself is the greatest achievement what we can get.
Okay.
Students should feel that, yes, by spending 2 years or 3 years their time in IZee, they have achieved what they have come for. Because they had some aspirations, right?
True.
If we can make them at least, if not achieve, we cannot make them achieve that goals, but we have to show them the path to achieve it.
Okay.
We as an institution should be a facilitator to ensure that each child is going in the right direction to aspire to achieve their goals.
True.
Just to
But
add,
that's
sorry.
very tough.
Yeah.
That's very tough because when you say attitude,
Skills,
in
knowledge.
my mind, it comes Gen Z audience. And when Gen Z audience swipe, patience is nothing and they don't see anyone in front of them.
True.
Like they are the bigger
True.
thing. So how do you build that attitude?
See, that is why we said holistic development. It is not only the development from the now Gen Z, as you rightly said, they are born in this era where everything is electronic, everything is at the fingertips. But do you really think Google can give everything?
No.
No. Right? Now you need to, as my chairman was talking about something called happiness. If you look at it, there is a huge change in our quotient levels. Earlier it was IQ, intelligence quotient. Then came EQ, emotional quotient. The third one was happiness quotient. And today, in today's world, it is spiritual quotient, SQ. So we need to make these students, that's why I said content is not so easy, which doesn't come in so easy to anybody. So we need to teach these kids that you need to be happy with what you have. That's too
Okay.
tough. That is where spirituality quotient comes in.
See, just to give you an example, in our recruitment company, there are a lot of kids coming for jobs, right? And most of them would like to change a job in 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years. And when you ask them, why do you want to change a job? They say, I didn't get growth in 6 months. So did you and I grow in 6 months?
No.
No. So what happens if you grow in 6 months or 1 year, right? There might be around 5 or 6 hierarchies in a company. So every 6 months, if you grow, how long will it take for you to become the CEO?
True.
2 years, 3 years? Will you become a CEO in 3 years? You may. If you have the skill, if you have the potential, you may. But will everyone become? Answer maybe no. Exactly. So that is how, like to add on to what Murli sir said, that's how fast people want to grow now.
Correct.
In their careers, in their life.
That is happening
right?
everywhere.
Exactly.
You said that you have the salary of 6,000. So for 6,000, how many months it was same?
See, this is interesting actually. My first job, I think I gave the wrong figure. My first job was 7,800, but my second job was 6,000.
You came down.
Right? I came down.
Okay.
My first job was a short period, maybe around close to a year, which was exactly 7,800. And then I quit that organization at 6,000, and people laughed at me. Friends laughed at me, made fun of me, saying that, right, from 7,800, ideally people go to 10, 15,000, but you came to 6. Right? The reason was because it was a new organization which came to India. I was among the first few employees of that organization.
Okay.
And I knew this organization will give me growth. And I was there in that 6 or 6,500 only for a few months.
Okay.
And within 2 or 3 months, I grew to the next level. Right?
Okay.
Another 6 months, I moved to the next level. The reason is because the timing was correct. And obviously my effort and the commitment was also there. I joined the company at the right time, right? And then grew with the company.
Do you think students decide this and students are that much calculative in today's world? You can take examples of IZee students also.
See, students today not IZee students alone, any students for that matter, because all of them come from similar backgrounds. Their focus is what's the maximum CTC I could get.
Correct.
So they wouldn't see, if somebody gets a 7 lakh CTC, another get 5 lakh CTC, maybe the 5 lakhs will give him more potential in the long run, more benefit in the long run. But he or she may go, right? Some of them, not all of them, may opt for the higher CTC only because of the CTC value or the salary figure. They may not see what kind of growth that company would give.
So as per you, what should students do in this scenario?
See, while we choose a company or a profile, number one, what the student should see is whether they are passionate about that job, particular job, right? What students may do nowadays or does nowadays is they would go by peer pressure. Yeah, he's going to HR, so I will also get it. My friend is going to HR. She's going into finance, so she's my friend, so I will go to finance.
Okay.
You need to see where your strength lies, where your interest lies, and where your skill lies. So if you feel you're a good marketer, go for marketing. If you feel you're good at finance, you like finance, go for finance.
Okay.
Right? lot of them opt for a specialization because the CTC is more. I would take up this specialization
And finally,
because the salary is more.
we are deriving to that situation where there is no happiness, only
Exactly.
CTC.
Exactly.
And ultimately,
Exactly.
that student will leave
Exactly.
that organization maybe in few months or max to max 1 year.
Exactly. So what happens the next 3 or 5 years, the student or the person will feel that that's not the career he or she wants to make. That's not the industry. That's not the specialized field. And then they would start from scratch.
Okay.
They would move the specialization, move the
Apart
industry.
from this placement, are there also students which think about that my girlfriend is going that in that company, I also have to go to that company?
Yeah. So I wouldn't like to comment on girlfriends or boyfriends
Does that
since
happen?
it's
Peer.
since it's their personal choice. However, peer pressure is definitely there, right?
Okay.
They would go because of their friends and towards a particular field. That does happen.
Okay, that happens.
And to add on to
Murli
sir,
sir has some good.
no, nothing like that. See, to add on to what you questioned, sir, the thing what a student should look out is also something called job description. What is that job in hand which they are going to join? Now, without seeing the job description, without knowing what role and responsibility the person is going to play in the company, he or she is looking at only the CTC. That's real wrong. Because he or she is not going, they have to survive in the job. To survive in the job, they need to know what is the role he or she has to play. What are the responsibilities attached to that particular profile?
True.
Am I eligible? Am I capable of carrying on that role and responsibility? Is it to my aptitude and attitude? Do I have the right skill set for that role and responsibility? If these questions he or she answers, they should take it up. Just because the CTC is great, I take it up, but I don't have the real skill set. Skill set can be human skills as well.
True.
I'm not talking about the technical skills alone. So if I don't have that human skills or technical skills, I fail miserably. And I come to a point where I have to quit
True.
because no company wants a liability. They want from day one the employee to perform. Right?
Yes.
So in that scenario, the most important thing, as Sir said, along with that is the job description, what the student should also look at, not only the CTC.
So how do you ensure at IZee that these things are performed
Correct.
properly? How do you is there some mentorship or how do you guide students
Yes,
in these
wonderful
cases?
question. See, what happened is now under the mentorship of our chairman, Dr. Zaish, what's happening is our placement team, whenever we roll out a particular placement opportunity to the students, whichever company it is, we ensure that there is a write up about the company as well as the job.
Okay.
Therein, the students know what is the company all about, where it stands, what is its financial status, and stuff like that. Along with that, even the role and responsibilities he or she will be expected to perform if the child gets selected in that company.
Okay.
Our placement team, under the guideship of Dr. Zaish, ensures that every child, whoever applies for that particular company, is being properly educated
Okay.
so that the skill set the child has should match the role and responsibility. It's not that just because CTC is great, I take it up and then I fail.
I can relate to that situation because in various colleges, I will not take any name, but I have seen the offer just the
CTC.
CTC and company name and
That's it.
position. That's it. Just three things they know, and they just click on that apply and they send their
Correct.
resume.
To
That
add on to that, I would like our chairman to talk on something called the branding. Students today are looking at only the brand name, the so-called big brands. Everybody wants to work for a Microsoft or a Google. But nobody understands that somewhere down the line, Google also started somewhere small. Flipkart started somewhere small.
true.
So why is it that the present student community looking at only something called the big brands, so-called big brands. Everybody wants to work in the big brands.
Even what I feel is that if you start from a startup, you learn multiple things.
You
But
work in all the roles.
you work in all the roles. But if you go for a brand, you are more of a process driven clerk who has to just focus on doing this task on and on,
What
on
is
and
given,
on.
that's it.
That's it. And on a daily basis, that
It
same
becomes
task
monotonous.
monotonous.
Monotonous skills.
Yes.
So you need to, that's what. I think Sir will be better to answer on that. Because you should not, students community should not be looking at only something called the big brands. They should also look at the startups, the SMEs for that matter. Even the stock market is doing pretty good with startups and our SMEs.
So just to add on to Murli sir, see some of the challenges we have, students have, and all that. They want to get into the big brands, so-called the Fortune 500 companies and stuff like that, right? But there are huge opportunities at the startup level, like you rightly said, right? Because they get multiple exposure. They are not a drop in the ocean. They might be part of the ocean directly, right? So they get huge exposure, and once the students gets that foundation, the base, obviously they can move up the ladder either in the same company or they can grow with other organizations. So whichever company they're taking up, whether it's small, medium, or large companies, the first thing they need to focus or check on is whether they would get the required exposure, right? Require experience. Once you have experience under the belt, nobody can stop you.
True.
Right? In today's market, like, everybody asks for experience, right? When you go for a job, what experience you have? You're a fresher.
How many
Right?
years?
Yeah.
What is the
We
learning
don't
you
hire
get?
freshers.
Learning.
Exactly.
Learnings you get out of a job.
Exactly.
Most
So
important.
what we try to do is we embed and inculcate a lot of things in the campus itself, where when a student goes for a job, they should not say I'm a fresher. They should say I have a rich experience of 2 years of MBA. Under my MBA, I've done all these. These are the exposure. These are the programs I've done. So even though on face value I might be a fresher, but I'm not a fresher because of the vast experience I've got over the last 2 years of studying in IZee Business School.
Okay. So when you say that 2 years, you also mentioned three things: academics, personality, and holistic development. So how do you build personality of a student? Are there any personality development classes, or is any process involved?
So at IZee, what we have done for the student development is we have started a career development cell headed by a director and senior managers. We have a strong team in the career development cell. The career development cell focus on a few important aspects of student development, which starts from communication skills, personality development, soft skills.
Okay.
Right? This is the foundation level learning, and then they move to managerial skills, leadership skills, develop the students on those kind of aspects of the student, and then move to complex things like internship programs, corporate exposure, right? Corporate etiquettes. So all these put together has a holistic development or helps the students have a 360-degree transformation.
Great. So that means the personality development is also a process. It's not a one-day activity that a mentor is called as a guest lecture and it's done and it's marked as a tick mark.
See, to add on to Sir what he's saying, our CDC, that is Career Development Cell, there are a lot of activities what is carried on. In that activities, there is assessment done on the students.
Okay.
So this assessment helps the trainers who are in the CDC cell to understand where the child is, at what level the child is. Based on that, we take that training session for a particular student. Now again, students are coming at various levels. One is an average student, one is not so great, the other one is excellent. Now what is to be done for an average student? What is to be done for a poor student? Now, students are coming from up country. For the students who are coming from up country places, they have the aptitude to learn. But what is stopping them is they are unable to converse in English. That, as Sir said, on communication. So we have to start with communication for those students.
Okay.
So that's how we take, and it is not a something that you give a tablet and they learn. No, it's a continuous efforts from our CDC to ensure that the child is developed and ready for his or her aspirations.
Okay.
So just to ask you a question, now we are in Dubai. If I tell you, let's learn Arabic in 1 week, let's speak like an Arab, is it possible?
No.
Exactly. Can we do it in 1 month? Difficult.
Maybe we
Right?
can speak
We
few
can start. We can
Exactly.
start.
So how long will it take to speak fluent
6
Arabic?
months to 1 year.
6 months to 1 year. Exactly. So that process for any language will take time.
Definitely.
Right. So and you would improve that in 6 months to 1 year only if you start speaking the language. Right. We learn the language in the classroom and speak in our vernacular language outside. The language will never improve.
Correct. True.
Right.
Very
So
true.
so that is the process that we try and follow so that they have a long-term sustained improvement of whatever, whether it's language or anything else.
Great. So lot of insights. I think if I need to start an MBA college, I need to sit with you for many months. Then only I can get all the gyan.
So we are
from you.
launching another company
Okay.
which is only focusing on guiding people like you who wants to start MBA for consultancy services.
Okay. So what sort of consultancy, like from the scratch, how to open, how to operate, and what? Actually, my type of MBA college is a different one where I will focus on building mindset first and then academics. In the mindset, I will focus on meditation, yoga, health, wellness, reading, that like daily 3 hours on these activities. Then after that, you focus on academics and extra curricular activities. So
No,
I have-
those are great ideas because in the new NEP which is introduced, right, in National Education Policy, there are a lot of these aspects added to it.
okay.
Right, part of the curriculum, and the government is changing the system of education, not making it totally formal. Right, there are a lot of aspects.
Yes, in the academics also you mentioned that you focus on the academics part, but academics is totally different when we see nowadays. Totally, environment is totally changing. So how do you ensure that कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि वही पुराना ज्ञान पढ़ा रहे हैं और बट स्टूडेंट्स को
नहीं, आप
तो
जो बोल रहे हो सही है. नो नॉलेज गोज वेस्ट एंड नो नॉलेज इज वेस्ट. अभी आपने क्वेश्चन था आपका कि वॉट एवर दे आर स्टडिंग इट इज नॉट पुट इन यूज. दैट्स योर क्वेश्चन. Yes, probably at their entry level it is not helping them. But once they come to a decision making, yes, it does help them. No, that is, every knowledge comes in use. Whatever they are studying at PG level or UG level, that will be put in practice somewhere down the line in their wherever, whatever they are doing.
okay.
Whether they have started a company or whether they are working for somebody that is intrapreneur or entrepreneur. The knowledge is going to be used somewhere down the line. So no knowledge goes waste. We do use it. So this particular thing that everybody says that there's a huge gap between academics and the corporates out there. Yes, it does exist. Why it exists? It exists in technical knowledge.
Okay.
Technical knowledge, yes, there's a change because every day there's a new technical skill coming out. Something new is coming out. So the faculty may not be knowing, our syllabi doesn't add it up because we come under some university regulations. So whatever is given that we have to teach. But what we do at IZee, we ensure that this new skill set, the new courses, whatever is coming up, whatever is needed in the market, we give them as a certificate course. We are
Okay.
keeping the students corporate ready.
Okay. Great.
So that's also a knowledge, right?
True.
That skill set is a knowledge.
Knowledge.
So every knowledge do help the students.
It's like if I ask you, in school you would have learned sine theta, cos theta. Where have you used it?
No, nowhere.
In fact, our MBA,
But that knowledge is indirectly helping us somewhere.
Okay.
Subconsciously.
all
yes.
of us have done MBA. We have taken marketing. All of us. Finance is zero. But are we not playing with finance? We are playing. I may not be doing the cash flow, fund flow statements. But then I should know
Definitely.
what's what.
Definitely.
So that knowledge is being
So
used.
moving to the cash part, Now let's talk some economics, because student development you are doing great. So first question, how many years the college goes profitable venture?
See, first of all, we are governed under a trust. So there is no concept of profit in a trust,
Okay.
Yeah.
right? A
Education
trust
is
is
non-profit
it's a
as such.
non-profit organization.
But
Right.
even we are spending huge on marketing and
Yeah.
different activities. So at least there is a situation where
So as per the trust bylaws, what happens is we are allowed to keep only 15% of our revenue. We can carry only 15% of the revenue to the next year. 85% of our income has to be spent on the students, on the infrastructure, on the institution in that
Okay.
particular year. So
okay.
that is the bylaw or the under which the trust works.
Okay.
So if I do X amount of collection, fee collection, and then based on expenses and all that, I can only push 15% to the next year. I
Okay.
need to complete 85% in that particular year.
But don't you think that 15% will be less
That
sometimes?
15% is also for the next year's expenses. The planning, the marketing cost involved for the next year. Because
But
as
that
such,
only I am saying 15% can be less because you need to manage salaries also.
that is coming in 85%, right?
So the operational cost will come in the 85%. Only 15% we can carry forward to the next year
Okay.
as a profit, which is moved to the next year of operations. Right? There's no profit concept under a trust because it's a non-profit organization. Right?
Okay.
We have exemption under the IT Act. Right? Why we get exemption under the IT Act is because we are not we are a non-profit organization.
But still, MBA colleges are making very good money. They are charging good fees. So, is it a reality that they are making tons of money, or are there
It's a
expenses
perception.
also
It's a
behind?
perception. It's a perception for the simple reason whatever fee we are charging from a student, please understand there are expenses involved.
Okay.
Huge expenses are involved. Infrastructure expenses are there. You have fixed income, fixed expenses of salaries, and faculty don't come cheap. As we say, there's a saying goes: you pay peanuts, you get monkeys.
True.
Right? So you have to ensure that you get quality teachers.
Okay.
So to get quality teachers, you have to pay. And student also looks at their profiles, right? When they're taking admission, they do question what type of faculty you have, what is their industry experience and all that.
Okay.
So to get such people, we are spending money. And all these certificate courses, their development things, that all is taking a toll. So it takes huge expenses to run a college.
Okay.
So the market perception would be, colleges, institutions are making a lot
They
of
have tons
profit.
of money.
Yeah, that's may not be reality, in reality at least.
Okay.
Because the bigger the institution, the larger the institution, the more the expenses. Right? We are a small institution. We just have around 1,500 odd students. But there are institutions which has 10,000, 15,000, 30,000 students. And
Okay.
obviously that their expenses and overheads goes 30 times more than what we have.
Okay. So you have 1,500 students. That is also a very good number. So what's your vision for the next 3 years? How many students? I will come to economics part again. Yes.
Yeah. So if you ask us what is the next 3 years vision is one, obviously we want to expand, we want to grow,
Okay.
right? We have the current campus, maybe we could move the student strength to up to around 2,000, right? Post that, I think we cannot accommodate in the campus we have right now. So we would like to expand in terms of getting newer infrastructure, probably buying a land, construct, or buy an institution or buy a building for sale. So the first step is we want to expand and make our student strength at least to around 5,000.
5,000.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is our immediate goal. So that maybe in the next 3 years, if it goes as per plan, it may be possible to reach from 1,500 to 5,000 in the next 3 years.
Okay. 5,000 is also a very good number.
Right.
So how do we get that in next 3 years? What's the game plan?
See, right now we are mainly focusing on management courses. We have MBA, we have BBA, we have BB Aviation, we have BCA, we have BCom. These are the courses that we have. We want to venture into other programs, right? Like we want to add programs in law, in
Okay.
design,
Okay.
right?
Education.
In education, right? Both at the master's and undergrad level,
Okay.
right? So we want to increase our portfolio in terms of the number of programs we offer. So how we would like to plan ideally is have couple of campuses where one campus would focus on certain courses and the other program will be specialized on certain programs.
That only I was thinking that if this is the business school, then don't you
Exactly.
think this will tarnish
No,
the
correct.
name of the
Exactly.
business school
Exactly.
if there is a fashion design course also?
Exactly. So the business school will be a standalone institution in itself. When we are starting law, it would be IZee Law School, right? IZee Design School, right? And that would ideally be at a different with a different infrastructure as well. Obviously, different team, different heads heading it, and all that.
So it's very good to learn a lot of things. But as a chairman perspective, what are your major pain points when you think about growing your institution?
See, one of the major pain points, like you initially mentioned, we are bootstrapped, right? So the institution grows with students' fees coming in, right? We have not raised any funds from the outside as such, right? So how do we grow with the own money that we are generating from the institution, right? How do we pump in that back to growth,
Okay.
right? So that is probably one of the biggest challenges that we are working on how to if you want to start another campus, obviously you need X.
So what kind of money one campus needs generally?
See, it totally depends on the size of the campus you want to start, right? You could
Let's
start
take,
from 1 acre, you could go up to 100 acres or more.
So what number you are looking for the next campus? What size?
See, ideally we are looking at around 5 to 10 acres.
10 acres. So
Yeah,
if we
5 to
talk
10
about
acres, yeah.
10 acres, how much investment generally it involves?
Again, we cannot be
Place.
specific. It depends on the location. It depends on the kind of infrastructure you're doing. But if you really want to build a mid-size institution, you may need around 50 to 100 crores.
Okay.
Right? I might be wrong, right? But ideally, you might need something like that. But again, there's no limit, right?
There's
the
no
bigger
limit.
institution,
But
yeah.
minimum 100 crores
Yes.
is the investment.
Yes, 50
Land
to
and
100 should be.
building.
Yeah, 50 to 100. And again, it's a ongoing process. You just don't build, construct and leave it, right? You
Construction never stops, I
Exactly.
think, at the college
Exactly.
level.
Correct.
Exactly.
So how do you ensure that always there is a new infrastructure development goes on?
In terms of?
In terms of like every time new infrastructure is going on, new infrastructure development is going on, don't you feel it's a kind of a headache, or what process is involved in that?
See, there's two ways to look at it. One, yes, the infrastructure work never ends, right? Second way, the positive way to look at it is why we are trying to increase the infrastructure is because we are growing.
Yes.
Right? So what we do is before the next academic year starts, way before, maybe a year before that, we analyze and plan as to how much more or how many more classrooms we need, how many more infrastructure requirements we have, so that we can plan in a year in advance.
Okay.
Right? So in case say we are getting 500 students more next year. So for 500 students, how many classrooms you need? Right? How many labs you might need, additional labs? How many how much more library space you need? So we plan all that in advance and start working towards that.
Okay.
Right? So obviously, more the construction, more the classrooms you're making, right? It's better because the number of
It's
students
better.
is growing. Yeah.
So students take admission on the basis of infrastructure or what we call as education, academics. Murli sir.
See, there's a saying, right? जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. So first thing, yes, student looks at the infrastructure. When I say infrastructure, not physical, but our social media platform, our website. They look at how are the classrooms,
Okay.
how is the lab facilities, what is our library, how library looks, how many volumes of journals we have, how many volumes of books we have. All this is described in our website. This is what a student looks at to take an admission, first and foremost. After that, the student looks at, because everybody wants to, because whether the student is spending 3 years or 2 years, depending on the course, what he or she is planning to take admission for, he's going to spend his valuable time in that institution. So you want to spend it in the right manner. So they want to have fun along with knowledge.
Okay.
So to have fun, they need a campus. They don't want a single building wherein they will not feel, they will not have that particular.
They will not have that emotional connect.
Correct. They will not feel that they are having that campus life. They need a ground to play. They
Food
need
court.
food court to hang out. They need to have library.
Cafeteria.
Yeah, all this they will look at when they are taking admission, when they are planning to take admission. Then the next thing comes is the teachers, the academicians. How many teachers are there? Each department, who is heading them? What is their experience? All this comes the next stage.
Okay.
So yes, infrastructure do play a vital role in the admissions.
So how do you plan? Like just a year back, you do all the planning that in the next 3 months we need to build this, we need to build
Yes.
this, we need to build this.
See, Pankaj, if at all you have seen our campus, at least in the social media, you would have seen that it is a green campus.
Okay.
It is a beautiful campus. So whenever a student looks at that particular website, they get impressed. And whenever they walk in also, it is very, very, how should I put it across? When a student walks in, they have that positive vibes. That's the most important aspect.
Wow, that's the
Yes.
most important. That's a key factor.
Yes.
And if the positive vibes are there, then definitely there is everything. That's why there are positive vibes.
Correct.
And that's thanks to Mr. Limnesh
Okay.
for
Yes.
his effort and dedicated effort that he's put in to make that campus beautiful, like eco-friendly,
Okay.
green campus.
So Limnesh sir, you are the construction man who is always getting the construction done.
He is the person behind.
Yeah, nowadays students are particular about that infrastructure. It will be like updated.
Okay.
Like they will compare with other colleges also.
Yeah, true.
So you visit other campuses also
Yeah,
to
we
check
used- yeah. Used
in
abroad.
India only or abroad?
India only.
And what do you say that you have come for admission or?
Yeah, in admission things also. Yet
See,
to
what
go,
happened is, yes, as he always ensures, it is also not only going physically. You can check the websites, right? And through websites also he gets a lot of ideas.
True.
And we have our own architects who help us. He sits with the architects, take their help, how to make the campus more green, more beautiful for students to be impressed upon.
Great, sir. Now let's talk about some of the placement side. I have seen your Instagram. You have launched one campaign that 80 days. What's that campaign? What's
It's
that?
80-40.
80-40. What is this 80-40?
That only our chairman can answer.
So, obviously, like we spoke earlier, placements is a key aspect in a business school, right? And thanks to our media team, which is headed by Mr. Pankaj from Mediagarh, right, and supported by Mr. Pankaj, we came out with a commitment saying that to our MBA students, saying that in the next 80 days, we will bring 40 companies to give the students the opportunity so that they can apply in different companies and get the right options they're looking at in terms of placements.
Okay.
Right. So the funda behind it is very simple, right? We started around 40-45 days back. We are a little more than half the time of that 80 days, and we have already brought around 30 companies.
30 companies.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. And so we have not only 10 more to go, but we may exceed it, even though we have said that we will bring 80 companies, 40 companies in 80 days. We may exceed it to 50 or 60 companies as well. End of the day, we want to give more opportunities to the students.
Opportunities to students.
Exactly. So once our team has taken up that challenge of getting 40 companies in the next 80 days. There's nothing holding us back, right? And thanks to our very strong and committed team of from the committed placement team members and heads, they worked and toiled day in and day out, answering messages at 12 a.m. and 1 a.m. in the night about placements. So if you ask us, we are 70% done or 75% done, another 30% to go, which I'm sure in the next 30 or 35 days, we will be able to achieve those numbers. And more than the slogan of 80 days, 40 companies, we want to ensure that all the students are placed in good organizations. They start their career on a good note, right? And that is what we want to achieve. Thankfully, so far we are doing the right things, right? And we want to place at least, if not 100, at least 85 to 90% of the students in good companies.
Okay. So for this, I got one idea. The thing is, whenever you want to execute a new thing, first launch it on social media.
Exactly.
True.
Yes.
Then-
You can't go back then. It's already
You're
there.
committed.
You're committed. Yeah.
That's a new form of commitment in today's
yes,
world.
yes.
True.
But at the same time, you need to have the confidence that might be achieved. Otherwise, it'll boomerang.
It may boomerang. Yes.
So this
very
one,
true.
even though it was a
Challenge for
for us initially, right? Because we worked towards that. Now we are confidently saying that that was a good strategy.
True.
Yeah.
Overall, it's good. So what, can you give some names of the companies which come for placements at IZee?
So just to name a few, we've got a company called TSI, which is one of the largest accounts payable company in the US.
Okay.
We've got companies like Berger Paints.
Okay.
We've got companies like finance companies like Anand Rathi,
Okay.
right? And many more, mainly in the field of, we are focusing into marketing, finance, HR, logistics, and healthcare,
Okay.
right? These are the 5 industries where our students have opted for specializations in. So most of the companies are focused on these 5 areas and 5 specialization areas.
Okay. And how do you maintain relationships with these corporate partners so that they come every year? That can be a secret.
See, there's no secret as such, right? It's an open secret, as they say. Most of the institutions are doing for the students. If not only IZee, all other institutions are working for student development itself, right? So constant corporate interaction, right? Bringing the corporates to the campus regularly, right? We invite a lot of people from the HR team. We invite people from the operations team, right? To interact with the students frequently, right? Take our students to different industries, right? Industrial visits, company visits and all that. So all these, it's a long process. The relationship is not built overnight, right? So it is a gradual process where you strengthen every year. It gets better and better and better. So if you ask institutions which have started many years before us, their corporate connects will be much stronger, right? However, ours is strong as well, simply because we are supported by our own recruitment company. So we don't take that much of time like a lot of other institutions
building
might
connections.
take. Exactly, because we are already in the industry. So these are the ways we strengthen the connect. And also from an industry perspective, what we tell the companies is, if you want hiring support, come to our recruitment company. But if you want campus placement, you can come to our institution.
Okay.
Right? So they get 2 services where for campus placements, obviously we don't charge anything, right? We give it as a service to companies.
Okay.
But in our recruitment company, it's a business, it's a limited company. So we obviously work on a different model in that. Right? So companies have dual advantage if they sign up with us.
Okay. Great, sir. And now let's talk marketing, because you said that there are just few years only you started. So what type of approach you follow in marketing? A conservative approach or aggressive approach?
Yeah. So like I initially said, we started our college in 2009. For the first 11 or 12 years, we were in a small building, right? Single building infrastructure. We had only around 200, 300 students, right? And then 3 years back, thanks to all of us here, right, we took up the new campus and we increased our strength from 300 to almost 1,500 now,
Okay.
right? Which in itself is a great achievement, at least from the effort we and the entire team has put in, right? So that is the first step. So that the greatest advantage has been for us movement of the campus to a bit better infrastructure,
Okay.
where the students like the infrastructure, and we are also confident while marketing because we know that once a
That
student
thing.
comes in, yes, they would like the infrastructure, right?
Okay.
We are not those large institutions. For a business school, we are pretty good.
Okay. So
Right.
now, if we talk about this campus, after entering into this campus, you follow a conservative approach or aggressive approach? Because I see lot of colleges, they follow conservative approach that yes, students will come. So that's why I was
See,
asking.
unfortunately, in the current scenario, in the education scenario, we have to market institutions. When we studied, none of the institutions were marketing themselves. Right? They were not, obviously,
Not
there
marketing.
was, the print media, but it was very less. Right? We never used to see an ad and go to a college for admission. Right? There were few institutions where you just choose one or two options and check where you get in. But now in this competitive world where the market is pan India, we have to be showcasing our institution for us to get students. So it has to be aggression with caution, because like we said, we are not a profit making organization, we are a non-profit institution, right? So we cannot go all out in terms of marketing, right? However, it has to be lot of aggression but with a lot of caution as well,
Okay.
right?
So who takes care of the marketing right now from campus? Like you monitor or who takes mainly the thing?
Yeah. So even though all of us are involved in the marketing, we have a pretty strong admission team, which is headed by a director. We have a couple of senior managers.
Okay.
We have around 15, 20 career counselors or academic counselors. So they manage the entire show, right? We guide them, we support them, right? So we have different teams working in different states of India, right? We mainly target around 10, 12 states in India as of now. Eventually, we want to target a larger base pan India. So this team is the core of IZee, right? So all three of us are there to support this team in our respective roles, because marketing is not one person's job, it is an entire team. So all of us focus and drive the team and support them, and we have a very strong and supportive base of educational consultants, right, who also supports us in different states as well.
Admissions. For the
Admissions, yes. So they also play a big role, right? And if you ask me, I mean, they've played a huge role in our growth as well.
Okay, great. But when we talk about marketing, what sort of marketing activities you are doing apart from this consultants and admission team, like what we called as in terms of lead generation, what sort of activities you are doing?
Yeah. So in terms of activities, we do a lot of digital marketing activities, lead generation activities in social media, Google Ads and all that. But while doing these activities, see, this is not a product that we are selling, right? This is not a phone or a charger that you're selling that, you speak to a customer today and they buy it tomorrow. It is a gradual process. It is a long-term decision-making process which student takes, parents takes, right? So the key to marketing success is constantly engaging the students over a period of time where they trust the institution saying, yes, IZee Business School is the right choice for me. And then they take admission, right? So lead generation is only one part of it, right? That's probably getting leads might be the easier part of it compared to converting the leads, right? So where the challenge comes is converting the leads, where our counselor should be in a position to explain to the students,
that.
yes, what are the benefits of the institution, right? What is the career prospects once you pass out from IZee? What is the strength? What are how are the faculties? How are the placements? How is the infrastructure? And everything only over the phone, because most of them now speak over the phone or connect online, right? Physical interaction is very less. So convincing the students and parents and communicating these things becomes a challenge over a period of time. But then that's the job of the admissions team, and they are doing a pretty good job as of now.
To add on to Sir, see what happens is, as Sir rightly said, it is trust, building the trust, and trust doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual and continuous process. Thanks to the efforts taken by all the team members, whether it is teaching and non-teaching, our trainers, today we are in a position to have students based on word of mouth. Our
Yes.
present students are getting students, their friends, their relatives. One side word of mouth, the other side is word of web. The reviews, what goes on in the Google.
True.
That also brings us students. Why? Because the current students are the brand ambassadors.
True. 100%.
If they are happy, if they feel that what they have joined IZee, they are getting it, there's always a positive word of mouth outside.
True.
And that trust, we have to keep it intact because everybody has joined with a particular mindset. And B school, everybody joins for placements.
Placements.
And as Sir was telling, this 80 days, 40 companies, the challenge what we have taken, the commitment what we have given to the world, we are keeping up. As of today, we are sitting here in Dubai. We have still 35 plus days to go. We have achieved 32 companies which have come.
Only 8 companies left.
Yes, 32 has already come, to give you an exact number. So that's
Great.
how it is.
So, for this, I will also ask social media campaigns before Mediagarh and after Mediagarh, Murli sir.
If you ask me personally, Pankaj, on it, yes, there's a huge difference for the simple reason. My son, the elder son, who is doing his engineering, he tells me that there is a lot of activity going on in the social media today. There's a lot of things happening at IZee. Now, that's my son's view. He is telling me, so obviously, there's something good happening from the social media side, thanks to Mediagarh again.
Thank you, sir.
In
Thank
fact,
you.
just to add to that, since he spoke about his son, even my son is very critical about video edits.
Okay.
Say a year or two back, he was never happy with the edits of the videos and the posters and all that. So today he's asking, who's the one who's editing? It's beautifully edited.
Okay. Great, sir. Great. So, Limnesh sir, you also see the social media or not a part of the social media?
Yeah.
Okay. So, overall, sir, what is your feedback on other services also when you see the landing page and ad campaigns by Mediagarh?
As of today, we are doing a wonderful job. Our social media team, Mediagarh, is doing an excellent job.
Okay.
If we have to reach to the next level, obviously, we would have to keep on. It's a continuous efforts.
Definitely.
Right? Continuous improvements have to be done. We have to keep the competitors into consideration. We have to see what they are doing and always be one step ahead.
Definitely.
So that's the support we expect from Mediagarh, our digital partner, to help us to reach out to the masses and in the right manner.
True. So,
No,
Zais
and
sir,
also, sorry to interrupt, one more thing to add is another big advantage which all of us feel is you coming in, right, representing Mediagarh and supporting us, you have put yourself in our shoes, right, before doing anything, which is not, I mean, you don't get that easily from other organizations, right?
True.
Now, you are not a digital company for us, you're part of our family now, right? We feel that, we are all working
Thank you.
towards the same goal. So that is important, right? Whether, I mean, it may be two different organizations, but when you feel, yeah, IZee is also part of our organization, that's when the effort is double. And I mean, you've given us a lot of suggestions to implement and stuff like that, right? So that is the critical aspect for whatever we've done for the last 1 year as well.
great, sir. I remember, you remember how we entered and how we signed the contract.
Correct. Yes.
So, are you aware about
Yes,
that?
sir has told me, yes.
So there was a one video which we created and we shared with Zais
So he
sir.
made a 45-minute video to show what all changes we could do.
Correct.
Right before that, we had a couple of conversations and all. Then it didn't go further. After the video is when we closed.
Correct.
So that was the thing, and today we are at Dubai.
So it was what, like 8 months back? 7-8 months. We started in
Seven-
what?
six
February.
months.
Yeah, that's
6
it.
months,
Yeah.
months, just 6 months.
I think we started in March or something. Feb or March.
Ideally, we started properly from April or March.
Yeah,
April.
yeah, March.
It's been a 6 months.
6, 8 months.
So next time, where are you inviting me? I am just thinking.
Wherever you take us.
Exactly.
So Bali, Maldives, or which location?
We are always, waiting for Mediagarh to invite us.
So our aim now is to do a podcast every 6 months
Okay.
at a different international destination.
Okay.
How's that idea for a challenge?
I am in for that.
And we need to take him also along wherever we are going.
He is also doing a great job.
So one more question which I ask many of my clients. Like you are sitting in Bangalore, okay, with even if you throw a stone, it hits to a digital agency, and then Mediagarh from a tier 3 city. Then why you chosen Mediagarh?
Yeah, see, more than choosing a digital company, it was about the interaction we've had on an individual basis,
Okay.
right? That a couple of interactions that we had, which connected the dots where we could take a decision saying that yes, Mediagarh is the right digital agency. Most of the other digital marketing agency that we've seen, I'm sure they're doing well and contributing to a lot of organization success. But those are the traditional digital marketing companies which are looking at lead generation, we are looking at social media ads and those kind of things. But what we wanted is an agency which will up our brand value, right? Improve our visibility, right? And also, like you keep saying, check the pain points of all the students and parents and address those pain points through with the digital media as such.
True.
Right? So what made easy for us is to take the decision is when you came in, when we had the interaction, we knew, yes, you're the right person who we can trust in terms of, because today digital marketing is everything.
True.
Right? What is shown online is what is a truth. Right? So obviously that plays a very important role. And we cannot we couldn't just go to anybody. And however, just to tell you, we've tried many agencies before over the last so many years. Right?
True.
Right? Many have done a reasonably good job. Some of them we burned our fingers and all that. But then it is a process, like we always say. And finally, we landed up meeting you and then taking things forward.
Oh, great. And now what will you say about the team's response? Like, how is the team's response? Everything good or
From the Mediagarh
Mediagarh's team?
Yeah. See, personally, I'm a tough client to handle. Because we are very critical of a lot of things, right? We want a lot of things to be done the way we have it in mind, right? We focus on small things in terms of getting perfection in terms of videos, in terms of posters and all that. But with all these challenges, your team has done a wonderful job because communication is the key. Whenever there is a challenge, they would communicate effectively, understand what is in our mind, and then implement it. Right? So when the communication channel is on and open, then all these other things is taken care of. So your team, all of them have worked very hard, right? And they are all constantly on our heads also to get things done. Right? If we delay, your team comes back and says, you know what, they are waiting for XYZ things from us. Right? So they've done a fab job so far.
Great, sir. Thank you so much for the amazing feedback. And I always say to my team also that we have to give that much value that client feels that agency is an asset for the client. Correct. It's not a liability. Correct. Whenever the bill comes, client should pay the payment with a positive frequency.
Yes.
Not with the negative frequency that I have to clear this bill and no, it's of no value. So I just explain that to my team that every action you take, you focus on giving more and more value so that we are the asset for the client. So what do you feel? Mediagarh is an asset for you or a liability for you?
See, definitely an asset. right? And the relationship has just started now. It's just the initial, right? Our marriage has been only 6 to 7 months now, as they say. So there's a long way to go. We can obviously strengthen it and make it much better, right? So definitely an asset. And what we feel is all of us should grow. Mediagarh as an organization has to grow, and we as an institution has to grow. So it is a partnership where all the teams, our team, your team, we as individuals and heads of the organizations have to work together.
True, true. So I think you have given lot of boost up to me.
True.
So overall, what suggestions would you like to give to students who are not taking placement offers despite selection?
So, see, more than any suggestions or to students directly, right? We need to create a mindset change among students, right? And in terms of they need to have a clarity as to what they want, right? How they want it, when they want it. So, I mean, more than changing the perspective of the students, what we need to work on is when the students are with us for 2 years in the MBA program or 3 years in the UG program, we need to introspect and see how can we make those changes to make the student understand or showcase the student what is reality, what is the market offering,
Okay.
right? If we are successful in that, we will be able to take care of 95% of those students.
True.
Right?
So what is the one quality that you think IZee students take when they leave IZee and move towards their career?
Our honest efforts towards their development.
Okay.
We are putting all honest efforts for their development.
Great.
Yeah.
That's
And also, just to add, what we would like the students to feel is they should feel that, you know what, they belong to IZee. Because once they pass out, right, even after 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, they are an alumni of IZee. Right? So they need to be connected and they need to feel that they belong to the institution so that the association goes a long way. It's not that they pass out, they get a job and they are out of IZee. They need to be a part of IZee, helping other students, helping their juniors, right? Develop them, and that's where you give back to the institution and society.
How do you ensure that every student at IZee feels personally mentored?
See, apart from the great efforts that our professors, faculties, trainers are putting in, right, on a daily basis from morning to evening, helping students develop, we are also launching a new program called the 100 Days Transformation Challenge.
Oh wow.
So, what we are doing in the 100 Days Transformation Challenge is we are segregating students into small buckets of around 25 to 30 each,
Okay.
who are each of the students groups are mentored by some of the industry experts.
Okay.
So we would be developing their overall skills,
Okay.
their ability for financial management, how do they manage their health in the long term. It is a holistic 360-degree transformation that our mentors will work with them closely over the next 100 days so that so that we ensure that all the students reach or get their dream opportunities.
So I think that's the most powerful thing which you are doing. Thank you, sir, for coming and giving so much insights. I think many of the college owners watching this, they have got valuable insights, and I will bring the part 2 when I go to Bangalore. So keep watching. Thank you.